Hi, good morning. I won't say my name. You probably know why. I'm just taking care of myself. But today we're going to see some best practices for the translation of official and legal documents, guided by the guidelines that National Accreditation Authority for Translators and Interpreters in Australia. So, let's get started. Okay, let's talk about the scope. As I mentioned before, we will be working with the guidelines of this association, and that's the one that sets the guidelines for the translation of official and legal documents in Australia and is the most commonly used around the world. Now, heading of the translation must include the name of the source language and the purpose of the document. That's the first thing you need to do when you're translating legal and official documents. You have to do it. That's the procedure. Talking about if the document is original or is a copy or whatever. You must clearly identify whether the document is an original, certified copy, or uncertified copy. Second thing you must include in the documents, or if the document, the format doesn't allow you to do that, you must look for a way. It can be in the cover of the folder, in the cover page of the translation, or in the seal of you as an official translation. Between brackets, just identify the kind of document where you're working at. Now, the completeness and correctness. The translation must be complete and accurate, and any omitted sections should be noted on the document. Either ways, this will be your next set of pictures. Now, talking about paper-based translation, you have to use indelible materials that are acceptable for official translations. For official purposes also, blue or black ink is recommended. That is the standard. That has always been the standard for translations. Don't use, if you're a cute aesthetic girl or you want to look with a kind of special core, don't do it, because your translation won't be accepted. You have to be very formal. Look at me. With electronic versions of the translation, these are the easiest one actually. There should be in a single PDF file with protection against editing and copywriting. That's the hard thing about them. But you may figure it out. There are many softwares, there are many codes that you can use to protect your files about copyright, plagiarism, or any kind of editing softwares. Okay, let's talk about something really important and very delicate. Seals and official stamps. You must translate the seals and the stamps that appear in every legal or official document. You cannot omit that information. You must include in brackets the information about the seal or the stamp. You cannot put images. Hear me out. You cannot put images on your translations. That's not accepted. That's not correct. You have to include the information of the seal of the stamp in your translation, but in brackets. For example, see this one I got here? This seal? Well, in the side of the page where was located the seal in the original document, you here in brackets put official seal from University of Panama, and then you make a description of the seal, and you can specify what is the purpose of it in the document, but never use images. Never. Certificates and diplomas. I have many of them, plenty of them, a lot of them. Well, make sure, this is important, make sure to write the name of the person from the owner of the diploma in brackets. We have an outline for the translation that is internationally approved for the translation of every single legal document. Even the seals, the stamps, we already have a format for each kind of legal document. So you can go to the internet and look for it and then start translating your diplomas, your certifications, and all your legal stuff. What if the original text have a grammatical mistake? What do? You don't correct the original one. Don't do it. Just make a footnote and describe why the mistake was made, describe the mistake, and what does the organization meant with the phrase that they wrote wrong. That's it. Email addresses, names of people, names of companies, organizations, and so on. You just try and look to translate it accurately. Do it. You have nothing to lose in this part. Okay, we're done for today. That's it. This is my video briefly describing what are some of the procedures. I'm being as concise and clear as I can. Briefly explaining some of the procedures that you may follow when you're translating legal and official documents. Now, as an extra something, I want to recommend you 2 books. If you are an English native speaker and translator and you want to know more about legal procedures in the Spanish languages, so your target language is Spanish at the time of translating, you should read this book, this one over here. Its name is Acta Académica from University of Central America. It was published on November 2018 by the University of San Jose, Costa Rica. It has many procedures for legal documents, and also if you're studying law, if you're a law student and they ask you to do something in Spanish, it will be very helpful for you. It's not the Bible, but it's good. And if you are a Spanish native speaker and translator and you want to know more about English, just as me, English translation, so your target language is English, I recommend you to read Panama's Poor. This is actually like some kind of novel but it's very useful. It has some legal terms, procedures, and narrations about um, some of crimes against democracy here in Panama, robberies, and all that kind of stuff. It will be very helpful for you. And I truly recommend this book if you're a law student and you want to know more about law but in English. So that's it. Thank you for your time. Take my coat, and I really hope to not see you in prison after this video.